players hitting the ice in Denver. Colorado won the Central, won the West, won the President's Trophy as the top team in the NHL. 9th straight playoff appearance. You see on that side, Anton Forsberg leading the Kings out. 5th straight playoff appearance for them. 5th different starting goalie in game 1 of the playoffs. Wow. Not a ton of consistency right there.
Mix it up, eh?
It will be Anton Forsberg and it will be Scott Wedgwood for our two teams. Probably not who you would have thought at the beginning of the season, but there are bigger things at stake here for Colorado. They want to get back to the Stanley Cup. They want to win this thing again. And, of course, they won the President's Trophy, which does not mean that they are going to automatically win the Stanley Cup. Curse of the President's Trophy, look at what happened the last 4 winners. But beyond that, no team has won the President's Trophy and then gone on to win the Stanley Cup since 2013 when the Blackhawks did it. And that was in a shortened season for the Blackhawks. We're on the ice. We're powered by Verizon. You see Nathan MacKinnon. This feels, though, Hank, with MacKinnon, with McHugh, and with the additions that they've gotten over the last 2 years, this is the best team they've had since that cup-winning team. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, they've been so impressive to watch all season long. Maybe a little dip second half of the season, but you look at the first few months of this regular season, no teams are even close to match this team in terms of speed and creating scoring chances, scoring goals. I mean, you look at all the different aspects of the game that you want to be good at, they're great at. So they've been a force this year, heavily favored to going into the playoffs, and they deserve to be.
And they have tons of size, too, but Naz Kadri coming back, I think it's going to be a big difference in their hockey club versus last year. Brock Nelson came over late, yes, but Naz Kadri playing with Waugh and Landeskog, that line, Biz, they're going to be dogs.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be dogs. Like, I wouldn't want to play against those guys because Naz brings that swag back that they were missing, takes some of that pressure off of.
This what you're talking about?
This right here. I mean, Bishel's a big man. He's 6'6", 6'7", Biz. And he doesn't, we say that in Toronto, you don't business. He didn't business there. He didn't care. He went right after him. And he's showing it's very fearless. And that's really something that spreads down the rest of the lineup.
Well, it goes back to Nazem Kadri's Twitter account last year when you saw Rantanen do what he did against his former team. You never let go of the dogs. Well, they went and got one back at Nazem Kadri, and you have to credit this management staff and the way they've been able to retool this team. I mean, going back to last year with goaltenders, the way they've drafted and developed Malinsky, the reason probably they were able to get rid of Gerard. I mean, just the depth at center ice. Like, even you have Waugh playing the right side there on that third line where, you know, he's pretty much a natural center. So they have oodles of guys up the middle. They have tons of experience on the wings. They have puck hounds like the Lekkonens. Like, this is a well-oiled machine, and they're built to win a Stanley Cup, and they're my top favorite pick. And I'm interested to see in the way they're able to respond after fizzling out the last few years.
The way the season's been going, it feels like it's their cup to lose.
Yeah.
You always say you haven't won anything when the playoffs starts, but it kind of feel like they won a piece of that cup already. So it's theirs to lose when you look at what they've done so far this season.
Yeah.
And you saw Landeskog. He obviously was a great story last year when he returned, but it was emotional and it was over quickly. He's settled. He's healthy. You talk about getting settled. Brock Nelson maybe didn't have the instant impact that we were looking for. He's got it now.
He really does. When he came over from the island, it was a tough transition. His family didn't go with him, and it's tough. He was in New York for a long time. So just being used to that day-to-day grind, having your family there, it makes for a tough transition, speaking for a guy that's been traded several different times and, you know, what it takes to get acclimated fairly quickly. But when I think about reasons why this team would be motivated to win a cup, Biz, Brent Burns. You know, the guy's played 1,000 plus, or 1,000 at least, continuous games in the National Hockey League. And, you know, we were talking earlier, it reminds us of Ray Bork. You know, watching Bubba go from Boston, playing 20 plus years in the National Hockey League, and then finally watching him hoist the Stanley Cup. It'd be incredible to watch Brent Burns win a championship this year.
Yeah, and he can fire the pill from the back end. You know, he's still mobile despite how many miles are on those tires. And they have a great blend of guys who can play defensive hockey like the Josh Mansons and guys who can move the puck and get up the ice. I mean, I like that Kulak trade as well.
Yeah.
So they've just made some tremendous moves. And really, if you look at this lineup, there's no real weak spots. And maybe some people will look at the lack of experience in playoffs in net. But let's not forget, when they won a Stanley Cup with Darcy Kemper. You know, he provided, you know, slightly above average goaltending. And I remember even the point when we had him in the Western Conference Finals against Edmonton, Francois, is that how you say it? Francois. He had to step in at certain points. So if they get, you know, slightly above average goaltending with the amount of offense they can put out, I think they're going to be a very fine if they're able to stay healthy.
Kemper now, of course, with LA, he's the backup today. Anton Forsberg will start. We look at the Kings, familiar territory, just make it to the playoffs. Different opponent, though, right?
Yeah.
I think they were like, just anyone but Edmonton, anyone but Edmonton. Oh, wait, we're getting the Avs?
Yeah.
This is the year that you want to have Edmonton,
yes.
I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you have this Kings team that's lost 4 straight to Edmonton. They take on Colorado. But again, they have we want to play for Kopitar. We want to win for Kopitar. And this is the guy who changes things, because he was talking to Edzo about this. This was not a riveting offense, an electric offense. Panarin changes that at least a bit.
He can definitely be a game changer. But I think the key for LA, they need to play a very structured game. They can't run up and down the ice with the Avs and expect to win this series. That being said, you listen to Kopitar's interview, and he said they play a little more free, a little more dynamic, more offense. But again, for them to beat Colorado, they need that structure in the neutral zone 100%, because Colorado is one of the fastest teams through that neutral zone. So the puck pressure and the skating ability from the Kings is going to be extremely important. But when you look at Panarin and what he can do, you know, he's a goal scorer, but he elevates everybody around him because the way he sees the game.
And the one guy from the Kings that can play at that speed is Quentin Byfield. He's been really good as of late. And remember that costly turnover he had last year versus the Edmonton Oilers? It's nice to see Q kind of turn the page on that. He's the one guy I'm watching, Hank, in this series that could play with pace, that has that same size, that could put the pressure on the Colorado Avalanche that Kobe was talking about. Force those guys to defend. I don't care how great you are offensively. No one likes to play defense. So make those guys buckle down the defensive zone and try to get your chances.
So that's the key for me. Byfield, pretty quiet start to the year, but the second half, it's kind of been his coming out party, much like, I guess, the rest of that second line. They've been tremendous in the second half. LaFerriere, as Jared Stoll, who I talked to, watch your toes there, Liam, he mentioned a coming out party for him as well, and they've been tremendous. So typically it's a very top-heavy offense, but you know, if you have that 1-2 punch of the first 2 lines, the key for me, though, is, and they haven't, I guess, made too many adjustments, is the way that they sat back in the neutral zone against Edmonton, right? And it ended up eventually killing them. I would hope to see them be maybe a little bit more aggressive, because if you're just going to kind of be a little bit more passive and hang back, this Avs team is going to eat you alive. And I guess the one good thing for the Avalanche, having surprisingly one of the worst power plays in the league all season long, I don't think any of us can make sense of it. I believe they finished 27th overall at 17%. The PK for the Kings has not been very good either. So if the Kings can improve in that department, as well as shut down a little bit more in the neutral zone compared to last offseason, with good goaltending, boys, who knows? Maybe they could stretch this things out and hang on and make a run for Kopi.
Well, guess what? After the break, we're going to talk about that.
I was going to say, and if Doughty goes head-to-head versus Nate Dogg, is he going to try to get under his skin?
Oh, is he? Yes, absolutely. That's true, Doughty. That's what he's going to do. We're looking forward to it.
Oh, cool down.
Yeah.
Nice fade there by Q. Nice, I like it. Went to business barber.
Is that kind of a mullet? A little bit of a mullet? What do you call that, Ace?
A mullet?
Okay, all right.
Mullet?
Sure. It plays.
I like it. He's ready.